A big win against Athletic Bilbao, back at Camp Nou, and Rafinha finally returned. Barca fans couldn't have asked for more. In our 4-3-3 structure, Eric Garcia dominated at the base of the midfield. Fermin Lopez was electrifying in that right half space, linking extremely well with Lamine Yamal. But still, the most fascinating part of that game wasn't necessarily our attacking. It was our defending. And in my opinion, it wasn't how well we defended, but the ideas and intentions behind them. I saw a tactical shift from Hansi Flick, addressing a key issue that deserves to be looked at closer. Barca have been known for using a high defensive line for a while now. But I also think there is a misconception among the fans. Because that alone isn't unique. Other teams in the top 5 leagues, such as Arsenal, Bayern Munich and Manchester City, also play with a high defensive line. However, what makes Barca stand out is that we combine this with an aggressive offside trap. That's like the main difference between Barca and the other teams. In my opinion, we rely on that strategy because we don't have midfielders who cover a lot of ground. We don't have someone like Caicedo or Declan Rice. Instead, we have players who excel in possession. The more you give Frankie and Pedri the ball, the better they play. So the offside trap is a way to compensate for it. By playing the offside trap, we reduce the amount of running they have to do. It becomes a system based on timing and not physical range. However, the high defensive line combined with the offside trap has caused a lot of issues for us this season. In several games, it has actually worked against us. The main problem has been our inability to press effectively in the final third. We haven't gotten the distances right, and the intensity hasn't been spot on. This has led to opponents having too much time and space to play through us. They can coordinate their pass and the run, which has led to the high defensive line getting exposed repeatedly. That's why the game against Athletic Bilbao was so interesting, because it marked a shift. I saw different behavior from the defenders in the back line. When playing with a high defensive line, defenders have two options. The first one is to step out and try to play the attackers offside, as Barca have done under Hansi Flick most of the time. The second is to drop deep and try to follow the runs of the attackers. Now, if you step out and try to catch the attackers offside, it requires perfect coordination. Otherwise, you're bound to get caught. Still, against Athletic Bilbao, something shifted. The Barca defenders adjusted their bodies in a way which allowed them to follow the runs. They could drop deep when it was needed and take out some space. In other words, they were in a much better position to follow the runs of the Athletic Bilbao attackers. We didn't try to catch them offside every single time. And it wasn't surprising to see that the defenders looked far more comfortable, because playing with an offside trap is tough both mentally and physically. I also saw something else, the reaction of the Athletic Bilbao players. They looked confused, because they had prepared for a completely different scenario. Every opponent expects to get a lot of space in behind Barca's defensive line. That is basically what our reputation is built on. This is one of the first times where I've seen Hansi Flick change what the players are instructed to do. And it doesn't mean that we should just abandon the offside trap, but adjust it. Make adjustments when it's needed. There will simply be moments where it's better to not use it. And doing so, not sticking to one style, makes us more unpredictable. Opponents have started to prepare patterns of play that are designed to break through our trap. But if we switch things up, those patterns become useless. In the end, this flexibility might lead to more turnovers and transitions against them. A strong win, but the most interesting part wasn't the attacking dominance, but how we won the game. The tactical shift in our defensive approach. And maybe it revealed a little bit about what's to come in the future under Hansi Flick. Make sure to let me know what you think.